Good morning and welcome back to our Living North Phoenix podcast. I'm Blair Ballin, founder of Living North Phoenix. Thank you for being here. So, in the podcast that we've done so far, we've talked about the history of Living North Phoenix as a Facebook group and where it started, why I started it. And today, I wanted to talk about real estate. Yes, I'm a realtor, but I wanted to talk about the area and what the area has to offer, in my opinion. But before I get into that, I wanted to mention that today's podcast is being sponsored by Corey Taylor from Copper Sky Contracting and Copper Sky Roofing. They do an awesome job. They are a general contractor. No job is too small. So whether it's a new roof, master bathroom remodel, or installing a ceiling fan, please reach out to them. They're awesome and big supporters of our community. So to go over a couple of other things, we have, as I've mentioned a few times, obviously the Facebook group. If you're not a part of that, please join it. We have our website, livingnorthphoenix.com. Please go to that and look for all the different information, including our really awesome business directory, which is where you can search for local businesses. So if you're looking for a bathroom remodel, you can find Corey there with Copper Sky Contracting. If you're looking for a mover, plumber, you name it, we have over 500 businesses. It is absolutely awesome. We also have our Seniors Living in North Phoenix Facebook group, which also has little subsets of it where people get together and meet and do stuff. We have our business networking group. So if you're interested in that, please let me know. That is industry exclusive. And a whole bunch of other stuff, including our newsletter and this podcast and many other things also. So back to today's episode and discussion. So real estate. So yes, as I mentioned, I'm Blair Ballin. I am a realtor here in the Valley. This year, at time of recording, is 2024. I've been a realtor 25 years. It's been a very interesting ride. I've been through multiple cycles and multiple extreme cycles, not just for this generation or this time period, but I would say, even though I wasn't part of the other ones, all around. 2007 brought an immediate and very interesting change in the market, a crash by extreme measures. And fortunately or unfortunately, I was on the forefront of that, dealing with helping people with their foreclosures. And then once it was foreclosed, if it was foreclosed, helping the banks with those foreclosures. And it was a really interesting learning curve or learning experience, seeing the things that had happened to the homes. And I'm not getting into, people should have done certain things or they shouldn't have, or the banks should have or shouldn't have. This is just a discussion of experience and where I think the North Phoenix market is as a result of that. Seeing the homes where, and it happened all across the valley and other areas too, where, people were stealing copper from whatever was accessible. And it was interesting to see whether an AC unit was on a roof or on the side, seeing or hearing about copper being stolen from rooftop AC units, people bringing in cranes to just take away AC units and copper. Some very unfortunate situations where people were being found in their homes, not living anymore. That was obviously very, very sad. Some stuff that we dealt with more directly was finding pets in homes in the middle of the summer or summers that, had no water, no air, dealing with the Humane Society and other entities. And this isn't a knock on the Humane Society, where, unless you were the owner, they wouldn't be able to help out with that pet being taken care of. Fortunately, there were organizations called, one of them specifically, Lost Our Home Pet Organization, which was just a blessing that they were coming into existence to basically help with things like that, where dogs and cats and animals were being found and didn't have a home. So basically a pet rescue during the foreclosure crisis. Just some awful, horrible situations. Um, on the real estate side, we saw homes in different areas. So in the North Phoenix area, most specifically, I remember homes in the, let's call it like 40th Street and Thunderbird area being foreclosed and sold for, I don't know, 40, 50, $80,000. And it was sad. I had owned rentals in the area and was very familiar with it, and I used to live in the area. So it was sad to see those homes drop to those prices, which obviously meant they were dropping in other areas too. It's not just because like I owned a home that it was sad for me. That's not the point. But over time, real estate, no matter where you are, real estate tends to has have cycles. It goes down, it goes up, goes down, it goes up. So then, let's just say that home is being sold for 80 grand. Then over time, then the foreclosures kind of, they didn't stop, but they reduced in the mass quantities that we had. And certainly there were other areas also that saw mass foreclosures. It's not like just the lower price ranges saw them most. Arguably, that's maybe where the areas got hit the hardest. But I can also remember a foreclosure that I had in the Troon area in North Scottsdale, which was one of my first luxury sales. I think it maybe sold for 800 or 900 grand when I ended up selling it as a foreclosure, which, by the way, the owners of that home actually took many of the fixtures and appliances. So we were without, whether it's a chandelier, the Sub-Zero fridge, whatever. It was very interesting to see that even in those types of homes, stuff was being taken. Gated community happened everywhere. But then as the foreclosures, I don't want to say went away, but as they dwindled down to above normal levels, but not crazy levels, then we started to see short sales because the banks were, more willing to work with people, didn't want to continue foreclosing on homes, couldn't, whatever that was. So then the short sale crisis, I guess you could say, occurred. And there were many homes that were short sold, which was good, I guess, because then people weren't being foreclosed on and whatever happened from that. Uh, and then maybe homes were being sold for a little bit more than foreclosures. And then as that sort of stopped, we still had foreclosures. We'll always have foreclosures. We still had short sales. We'll always have short sales. But then prices, I don't know, maybe that $80,000 home was 120, gradually 150. And then we fast forward to, I don't know the exact time period, but let's just say the late 2010s. So 2018, maybe that home is now 250, 300 grand. And then you fast forward to COVID, when COVID happened, and there's all this scare in the market that, people would lose their jobs, which I'm guessing many people did, unfortunately. That then prices started to sort of stabilize. But then as the mass craziness happened, where what are called hedge funds, iBuyers massively entered our market. So the Zillows, the Open Doors, the private equity funds, whether it was BlackRock or whatever, entered the market buying homes for the sake of renting them out or flipping them. You had your two types of iBuyers, that one would rent and hold, one would buy to resell. So Zillow entered the marketplace copying Open Door. Open Door wanted to flip homes. I don't know if they, the brand of Open Door, I don't know if they ever really held them as rentals. They might have had subset companies that did, but Open Door themselves usually just flipped them, to my knowledge. But you had other entities that would come in, buy homes to rent them out with no desire to ever put them back on the market. And because of that, their I don't want to say profit margins, but their acquisition cost could be considerably higher than a Zillow or Open Door. So then, prices get bid up, and that's part of what created our COVID crisis of causing so many, especially first-time home buyers, being displaced out of the market or harder to buy. Because now you're competing against cash offers. Maybe those offers are before homes even hit the market because they have hundreds of $1 million to spend on whether it's radio advertising, text advertising, whatever that advertising method is. So then that brings us to a time where, we go back. So let's see. So I owned, like I said, a couple rentals near 40th Street and Thunderbird, which is a phenomenal area to own a home in. I lived in the area. I still basically live there. So the home that I bought, I want to say was around 2006. I want to say I paid 250-ish. I want to say, I mean, I was foreclosed on. I had a short sale, I think, in that area. I had other foreclosures and short sales, but myself, I want to say I paid, you know what, I don't know if it was 250, so let's just say 200. Uh, I want to say I ended up short selling that one and foreclosing on another one. And it was in I think, below 100 grand. One of them I ended up keeping, and during the COVID time, so let's call it 2022, maybe it was 2023. I really don't remember. Ended up selling that home uh, at a time that I felt was really good to sell. It was a ridiculous price, but in the mid 300s. So made a profit on it, a substantial profit, and was very grateful for that. But the point of it isn't about the profit that I made, is that, like, let's say I bought it for 200, and I could look it up and get the exact numbers, but let's just say I bought it for 200. Um, now remember, one of them I sold for a profit, but the numbers were all about the same. Is one of them I bought for 200, short sold for probably 80. One of them I bought for 200, sold it for the mid 300s. So to give you an idea of that time frame, that you buy right before the crash, 200, one of them short sells for sub 100, and then you keep it for, mm, let's just say 15-ish years. Now it appreciates to mid 300s. That's an incredible swing in 15 years. Whether you just want to say it went from 200 to 80 to 350, let's say, that's astonishing. I don't know, was that a 4x? Like, that's crazy. Now, COVID brought out some of that. Other areas, if you're a little bit higher price range, so let's say you bought a home for 300, could it have been worth 5 or 600? Absolutely. Could it have gone up to 1,200,000 if we're using the 4x model? I don't know that really happened, but double, absolutely. Now, I didn't want to make this too real estatey, and I know it's probably going that way, is, there's areas that I love in North Phoenix, which is part of the reason why I started this group, is I felt very comfortable talking about the desert ridges or Desert Ridge, the Sonoran Foothills, the Arrowhead Ranch, Anthem, Desert Hills. Let's see, what are, as in the Phoenix area, we don't have like too many well-known subdivisions. Like, it's just areas, not necessarily, but those are a few of them. We go into Scottsdale, we get the Greyhawks and the Troons. But also, in my definition of North Phoenix, are a couple 55 and over communities. So we have Westbrook Village, obviously Sun City West, Surprise, and different areas that are all part of that cover the 55 and over communities that are outstanding for that group of people, seniors, that are looking for a 55 and over community with all the recreational benefits that those communities bring. That's the bottom line, period. But from a real estate standpoint, if we go back to 2007, all of those areas were impacted by the crash. And then for those that were able to withstand it, real estate will always go up. So what went down went up. And because of COVID, fortunately or unfortunately, went up to a high level. Unfortunately, to those that let go or had to let go, and had their lives changed drastically, um, they took the hit, and then at some point, maybe they were able to re-enter the market to buy and get another home. But from a real estate standpoint, we look at this and say, okay, so 40th Street and Thunderbird is the area that I've talked about that I focus on. I still do live there. And, the old PV mall was there. It's now being redeveloped into whatever it's called. And it's fabulous from what it's looking like with the different shops that are there, the restaurants, the amenities. It's awesome. And there's different areas in town that have seen something similar. But the PV mall redevelopment is incredible. There's, I think, crazy condos or dwellings that are being sold in the million+ range for, a condo or an apartment or whatever. And then there's rentals, which I think are nuts as far as what the prices are, but they are what they are. But if we're talking real estate, like this North Phoenix entity or area is just so cool. So whether you live in a Sheaborhood, and you have these easy access or great access to, um, the freeway, hiking, biking, mountains, awesome schools, redevelopment of the 32nd Street corridor. All of that is so, so cool. We go back to pre-2007, much of that area, even though the homes have always been awesome, just kind of like dreary. And I can speak to this because I drove by there and through there a lot. My office is there. Might not have been there then, but I know the area. It was still good, but it wasn't revitalized. And over the past 15-ish years, much like a lot of other areas in town, the 32nd Street corridor and Sheaborhoods have been really redeveloped. And there's a lot of money going into the homes to remodel or renovate the older homes to make them more, mid-century modern, that style, whatever. There's bigger lots, there's horse properties, there's whatever. And there still is sort of quote unquote affordable homes. We go north, 40th Street and Thunderbird area-ish homes, redevelopment around the PV Mall. We go north into Desert Ridge, which I absolutely love. Traffic probably sucks around it. But the gated communities right around there are fabulous. There's somewhat affordable homes. You go north, Sky Crossing is there. Then we go further north into the Tatum Ranch, Tatum, type homes that are off Tatum Boulevard, whatever that looks like. Then you go north of that into Cave Creek, where there's phenomenal homes. Cave Creek is such a cool city, the Wild West kind of feel that's a little bit quieter, but away from town. You get your mountain views, you get your golf courses. We can go further north into Norterra, which I think is like the northern Desert Ridge, but not as trafficy, although it's being developed. There's more homes going in there, which I think is cool. And then you go north of there into Anthem, and then Desert Hills, where there's an Anthem, you get your gated community, you get Anthem, which has awesome amenities and features if you're looking for that and okay being in that area. Desert Hills, you can get your acre lots, horse privileges, room to build shops, guest houses, park your trucks, off-roading vehicles. It's just cool. Sometimes there's issues. Maybe the property doesn't have city water, so is it well water, hauled water, or whatever. And then as you go west of there, and near there is the TSMC factory that has been built, is being built. I'm not going to get into, some people think it's bad. It's taking away the land. It's bringing in more jobs, more people. They're flooding the area. Not getting into that. TSMC factory is there. It is providing jobs, and it is causing many homes to appreciate in value. If there's a negative opinion about it, cool, that's your opinion. I'm not saying I don't have one. I'm just saying, in my opinion, overall, I think it's a positive. But everything or many things have pros and cons to it, and it does as well. But if we go south of there, and now we're going, we went from south to going north and then west, and then now we're going south and then we're going west again. We start to get into that Deer Valley-ish area, and then Arrowhead Ranch, and then Stetson Hills, Stetson Valley. We go a little bit further west into Terramar, I think it's called. Just some wonderful, wonderful communities, whether you're a family starting out, whether you're retired, whether you're looking to upsize, downsize, second home, whatever it is. Really, each of those communities that I've just mentioned, whether it's a subdivision or area, Norterra, Desert Ridge, Anthem, Desert Hills, whatever, have so many options. Like, it's so awesome. Like I said, Desert Hills, acre lot. You can build a guest house, build an RV garage. Arrowhead Ranch, you can live on the water. You can do your boating. Desert Ridge, you can live on a property you might feel like you're on top of your neighbors, but then you have all the amenities of the community where you can use their community pool. You can play pickleball. You can go to the July 4th festival in the park. Like, we have everything. And sure, Chandler, Gilbert might have something too. Levine, Buckeye, whatever. Everything, every area might have something, but this is North Phoenix. This is living North Phoenix. This is why I started the group, because North Phoenix has so much to offer. It's growing, even though it's already developed, it's growing. It's awesome. And whether you already live in North Phoenix and you already know this stuff and you want to reply on this podcast or send me a message or whatever and saying what you think about the area, please do. I'd love to hear it. Or if you're listening to this and you live out of the area and you're thinking about moving here, or you don't know where to move to and you've heard it, yes, North Phoenix has so much to offer. And I've just touched on a few things. Like, it's incredible. And I've lived all over the country. I don't remember all of the areas I've lived in. And I wanted to talk about my history, like where I've lived and all that stuff. I missed out on that opportunity for this podcast, but the next one, I think I will do that. So please listen in for the next one. But North Phoenix is awesome. So again, if you live here, good. Please make sure you're taking part of the community, going hiking, whether it's in Scottsdale to Tom's Thumb Trail or whatever it's called. I don't do great, like, off the cuff remembering names. I know the area, I know the names. In Cave Creek, there's some phenomenal hiking trails. I wish I remembered the name right now. Jewel of the Desert. There's something with water, the Metate Trail. There's just so many beautiful trails. Catch a sunset, sunrise, go out in the morning, in the fall. And we're closer than Chandler is to Flagstaff, so hop on the 17, which we all hate as a freeway. Go to Flag, enjoy the winter there, to Snowball. Like, it's incredible. Like, we have so many beautiful options. You can go apple picking up north, our pumpkin patches. Like, We have it all. We have it all. Like North Phoenix is incredible. I encourage you to continue taking part of it. If you're not, I encourage you to take part of it. We are blessed to be in an incredible area. Are there downfalls? Are there negatives? Of course. We live in an incredible area and I love it. I'm grateful you're a part of this community, Living North Phoenix. If you are looking to buy a home, please reach out. I can help. If you're looking to sell a home, I can help in the North Phoenix area, whether that includes Glendale, Peoria, Surprise, whatever. Just reach out. I'm here to help. If you already have a realtor and just need a second opinion or have a question, I'm still here for that. If I can help you, I want to. And help isn't just defined by a real estate transaction. If you're looking to rent, can I help you with that? Maybe, but renting isn't my specialty. So if I don't think I can, I will let you know that. But I am here as a real estate guide to help you in the North Phoenix area. If you're looking at other areas too, I can help you with those too. I've lived all over the valley. I feel I bring a unique perspective in that one time, someone approached me looking to live near Scottsdale Air Park. They own a plane, they fly in, they wanted like an 8-minute drive to their condo. But it wasn't that they had to live near Scottsdale Air Park. It was that they needed an 8-minute drive. I told them about an air park in Chandler. Worked out great. They bought a condo, was awesome. They love it. And I bring that unique experience of 25 years living all over the valley, knowing about real estate here. I can help you. If I don't know, I will know where to go to find out answers. I didn't mean for this podcast to sound like a sales pitch. It's not meant to. I'm passionate about North Phoenix. I want people to live here. I want people to take part of our community, which is why I have our community of Living North Phoenix. So if you are looking to buy or sell, I'm here. If you already have someone, that's okay too. You can still live here. It's not because you don't use me that your house is gonna have some red flag to it. Doesn't work that way. I wish I had that power. But thank you for letting me yap. I hope you enjoyed it. I want to repeat that our sponsor for today is Corey Taylor with Copper Sky Contracting and Copper Sky Roofing. So if you own a home, needs a new roof in North Phoenix, reach out to Corey. If you've bought a home, you've lived there a while, you're looking at that ugly shower, reach out to Corey. He can help you with the remodel for it. He's awesome. He's local. He's got a family here in town, and he's a big supporter of our community. Please reach out to him. As always, thank you for watching, or thank you for listening, I should say. Thank you for letting me yap and talk about what I love, and hopefully you love it too. North Phoenix is truly special. It's a wonderful place to be a part of. Thank you so much for listening, and have an awesome day.